What's up, everybody? Figured I'd make this video on the way to work. I'm gonna just set the phone down, let it record while I drive. Look, check this out. Somebody sent me this video the other day, right? And they wanted me to react to it. Now, like I told y'all, I don't have the laptop to put the video in the corner and let the video play, then I react. Well, I can just tell y'all a gist of what's going on. Somebody brought if you want to call these people preachers or pastors normally over a congregation. If you want to call this person a preacher, that's fine. But listen, somebody brought a speaker in, we don't call him a guest speaker in. And the person who brought the guest speaker in wanted the congregation to sow a seed. And look, check this out. This is what I learned with a lot of so-called followers of Christ. I'm not even going to call everybody Christians. They wanted the congregation to sow a seed, aka a love offering, aka we taking up some money, right? And if you're not careful, a lot of these people will bring their buddies in and extract money out of the congregation. For example, let's flip it. Let's call some names out. If TD Jakes bring in Joel Osteen, Joel Osteen, he's going to be with us this week, and we're going to take up a love offering for Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen would extract about a big church like TD Jakes. He would extract about $20,000 out of that in that one night. And then in return, Joel Osteen will bring in TD Jakes, and he will come do the same thing, right? Now, these people it's all a money grab. And then you have that on a smaller scale. When I was watching this video, we're going to bring in such and such. And again, like I told y'all, I want you guys to sow a love seed. What do you see with a lot of people don't know how to connect with God outside of their spiritual leader, right? And this is what you have to understand as well. One thing I noticed in the Christian community, quote unquote, I've seen this online. I've heard this from different people. You have these so-called preachers. You're trying to extract money from poor people. Let's say it again. You are trying to extract money from poor people. And then that leaves a sour taste in everybody's mouth, even for the small pastor who's really doing a work of the Lord. Right? So look, check this out. I'm going to do a side note here. Most pastors and churches, when they're receiving money from the people, it's only a handful of people who's really tithing and giving money. It's only a small handful. It's not a lot of people. Because you got to understand, y'all remember I told y'all a while back, you need $100,000 in today's economy just to pay your bills. That's not to travel. That's not to live. You need that just to pay your bills. Right? How many people in your congregation, or how many people you know personally, is making $100,000 plus a year? And that's young. I'm not talking about you in your 60s and your 70s on your way out. Like, you're in your 60s and your 70s on your way out. Okay, now I'm making $100,000. And $100,000, that's before taxes. After taxes, you're getting like 70. That $100,000 in this economy is not a lot of money. Y'all thinking of $100,000 back in 2003. Like, nah, we 22 years in, player, fixing to be 23. So look, and then, okay, back to my original point. You're trying to extract money from poor people. It is only a handful of people that actually tithe. And this is what I look at when it comes down to tithing. I'm doing my part. I don't give a flip what the pastor do with their money. Listen, 10% of $1,000 ain't nothing but $100. And look at this. Everybody that go to church with you is not tithing 10%. So And here's what I learned about with the congregation when they're looking at the pastor. A lot of people will look at it like, man, why the pastor got a new vehicle? Or why the pastor going on vacation? A lot of people would rather their pastor like them, struggling, barely making it, no vacation, hand to mouth, check to check. And then you have people who's well off in life want their pastor to look like them. Like, think about this. A guy that's making $500,000 a year, he's not going to sit in the church where the pastor got to preach and then turn around and go work overtime in the shipyard. He's not sitting under that. Hey, pastor, look, you got to do something better. Look, man, here's $20,000. You and your wife go on vacation. You got to do something better than this, man, than just slave away working. You see, you have people that really love the pastor and view things like that. I'm just telling you what I grew up seeing and hearing. You have guys that's well off. Hey, pastor, man, look, you driving a piece of trash car. Listen, man, go down into the lot, pick out what vehicle you want, and I'm going to take care of it because I'm a millionaire. I'm just telling you what I've seen and heard over the years. So, but you will have people trying to extract money from poor people, bro. And it don't work like that. Listen, God is not going to curse you because you don't sow this love seed. God is not going to curse you if you don't tithe. But the Lord also say, try me in this area. I tithe. I'm going to be honest. I don't give a flip if I'm tithing and I see the pastor pull up in a Bentley and then take vacations every month. Because the only thing that showed me is, oh, he managed the money enough to where he can do this. This is what you got to understand. If you got a pastor that's pastoring a church and his salary is $2,000 a week, some people know how to take that $2,000 a week and turn it into real money. Some people, not all, some people, not all, some people know how to do that. And then you got guys like me. You give me $2,000 a week, I'm going to play it safe, hold on to it, spend a little bit here, spend a little bit there. You have some guys know how to take $2,000 a week and invest it and turn that $2,000 a week into $4,000. And then invest that $4,000, turn that $4,000 into $5,000, and turn that $5,000 into $7,000. And then that pastor just so happened to be making $30,000 a month. Yeah, because he's ripping the people off. He's not. Look, I watched this video of a guy. He had a small church. He was a full-time minister, and in his free time, he would do labor. Like, you got labor finders. In his free time, he would go work at labor finders, get a little job here and there. You know what I'm saying? It was just him and his wife. They didn't have no kids, and his wife was working full-time, paying the rent, and he was chipping in where he could. And also, they was taking the money they earned, putting it into the church, buying tissue, paper towels, soap, paying the light bill, all this. So his wife finally finished college, and she became a nurse. And the wife started working a bunch of overtime to get them out of the situation that they were in. So boom, she was able to get them a decent car. She was able to get them out of that apartment into a small house. And then he was still doing little labor finder jobs here and there. He was starting to make money. And people were starting to look at them like, oh, this is what he doing with the money. He taking the money and going to buy a vehicle. And it wasn't. He was putting his hands to the plow and grinding and working. Listen. Listen, if you don't have money to give, we're going to take up a love offering. We're going to sow this seed into. If you don't have it, you don't have it. That's just what it is. Like, listen, I tithe, and I'm going to be honest. My tithing is normally around about 20%, about 15, 20%. All right? Now, when somebody else come and say, man, we're going to sow this seed in the pastor such and such, I just listen to them. I don't have nothing else to give. Because I've already tithed, and then I've already offered. I'm past 10% tithe, maybe another 3 to 5% as an offer. I'm tapped out. I ain't got nothing else to give. I got a family to provide for. I ain't got nothing else to give you. And that's some reality for your behind. And see, And you don't let people guilt trip you into doing something that you don't have. Now, it was a point in time, all I could do was tithe, that's it. And again, this is for my personal belief. This is something I choose to do. I'm not pointing the finger, hey, y'all need to tithe. Y'all need to, man, listen. Let a man do what he understands to do. I'm not telling a man to do nothing that he don't understand to do. Because you want to know why? My cup has never ran empty or dry. My cup has never ran empty or dry. Well, I thought you said before that you were struggling at one point. Yeah, I wasn't managing the money. That's why. That's why I was struggling. So I was not managing the money. I was wasting money on stupid stuff. Listen, you will not go broke giving 10% of your money away. I'm going to say that again. You will not go broke giving 10% of your money away. Now, for the people who don't believe in God, do you believe in karma? Do you believe in if you sow a good seed, you will reap a harvest? Do you believe in do good unto others as they will do good unto you? So you mean to tell me if you feed this homeless man one time, if something happened to you, somebody will feed you because you homeless? You don't go broke by having you don't go broke by having $3,000 and you give somebody $300. Look, if you don't want to tithe to the church, don't. Tithe to this single struggling mother you know. If your normal tithe would have been $100 for this week, go to this lady with 3 kids, single mother struggling, you cash out her $100. Cash out her $100. You ain't got to give it to the pastor. Give it back to the people. I just choose to give it to the pastor, but give it back to the people. If that's how you want to do it, give it to the people. But don't let nobody guilt trip you into giving money that you don't have. Yeah, look, I'm watching this video. Man, I forgot to take that thing off this truck. Look, I'm watching this video. Somebody said, yeah, we're going to, that man, look. Hey, Stan, we're gonna sow a seed, a love offering to brother such and such. Man, I see about 10 people get up and walk out. Don't blame him. Flip it. Flip him. If he really had the Spirit of God, God will take care of him. Flip it. God will take care of you if you was in alignment with the Word of God. If you, me and the big G tight, me and G-O-D tight. If you and G-O-D tight, he'll take care of you. He don't need no people to gather up some money so you can eat. He don't need that. We're talking about God here, right? If we're talking about God, I'm talking about God. Well, then God will figure it out. It's up to you, Lord. It ain't on me. I've said it 1,000,000 times. I have a wife and 5 children. The Lord has blessed me with these 5 kids, so it's up to God to provide. Ain't up to me. It is not up to me to provide for my 5 children. It is up to the Lord. All right, Gibson, I got you a job over here. It's 45 minutes from the house. That's where you're going to work at. Now, they're working 6 days a week. So I just set it up. You want to provide for your kids? Take you behind the work. I'm going to give you the ability to pass the well test. It is up to you to get up and go to work every day. So guess what I'm doing? I'm getting my black behind up, going to work. And at the end of the week, when I get this paycheck, and you know what? I'm going on vacation. Well, don't come crying to me talking about you ain't got money for bills, because I held up my end. I gave you the ability. I gave you transportation. I blessed your vehicles where you can make it to work every day. I gave you the strength, health, and ability to go out and perform the work. And you chose not to. Not only did you choose not to go to work, but when you went to work, you squandered the money. So yeah, you need to lose everything. You and your kids need to sleep under a bridge. That's the reality for your behind right now. So therefore, I tithe. I give. I always have. And like I say, my giving isn't always at the church. I make sure my 10th go to the church. That other 3 to 5%, it goes other places. It might go help this person, help that person, do this for this person. And then that's it. I'm not doing nothing else outside of that. I'm not required to. So when I've already given my 10% to the church, and I've already gave my 5% to the people, and somebody say, Brother Gibson, we taking up money for this, I'm saying, man, that's good. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's good. Or if I've already given my 5% to the people, and a struggling mother say, Mr. Gibson, can you help me with $200? If I've already given my 5%, I don't have nothing else to give you. I don't have nothing else to give you because I have to make sure those of my own household is taken care of as well. Don't let nobody swindle you into, you have to do this, you have to do that, you got to do a flipping thing. If you don't have it, you don't flip and have it. Don't let nobody guilt trip you into giving something you don't have. Shoot. If all you got is $10 and you want to sow $1, that's it. Let that brother or that woman that's taking that dollar up say, what's this? Look, I remember years ago, and I'm going to let it go. When I was a kid, everybody used to take up money for fireworks, right? And I didn't realize how expensive fireworks was. Because when I was a kid, only thing we got was bottle rockets. Bottle rockets, $2.50. That's the only thing we got was bottle rockets. The big fireworks cost real money. And I remember this guy was taking up money. He said, hey man, we're taking up money for fireworks. Gibson, we're taking up money for fireworks. I'm saying to myself, man, flip them fireworks. I'm gonna flip by no fireworks. And the guy was like, hey man, trying to take up money for fireworks. We ain't got enough, ain't nobody giving. And I remember a guy said, well, don't buy 'em. He said, man, you know, when we gather around to pop them, everybody show up, but don't nobody want to give when it's time to buy 'em. And one guy said, well, how much money you spent last year on fireworks? He said $2,300. He said, and the $2,300 go up in about 15 minutes. Well, that's what it is. That's what it is. And shoot, flip them fireworks. And that's the same thing when somebody say, hey, man, we taking up money for this. You ain't got it, and you've already given your 10, flip them. Flip them, man, I ain't got it. I tell you what you do. I tell you what you do. You come back in 2 months and say, hey, man, can you help me? Pay my bills for the month. I need $5,000. Guess what they're going to say? We can't help you. We can't help you. I'm not talking about the real people that can help you. I'm not talking about the real pastors that can help you. I'm talking about the ones that always want to swindle you out of money left and right. And you always giving left and right. And when it's time for you to go, look, I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. I remember this guy broke it down like this. I was working with this guy. He said, Gibson, I stopped giving to the church. I said, why? He said, cause I look at it like a refrigerator. If I'm putting food in your refrigerator, when can my family go in there and grab it to eat? He said, so I stopped doing it. But what people got to understand is the church has bills as well as the pastor. You want the pastor to be full-time, but at the same time, we don't want to give you no money because God going to provide for you. So, pastor, we want you full-time, but we're not giving you no money. You know what I'm saying? Well, how about we, hey, look, if a pastor do this, people will still spit in his face. How about we do this? I'll lay all the church bills out. You know, the light bill, the water bill, the cleaning bill, the supplies, everything goes on. And then we just all give to that. And then I go get a job and work a job. People are still spit in the man's face. They won't do it. People still spit in the face. I'm telling you, man, some people want to see their pastor struggling and broke because I'm struggling and broke. I'm telling people like that. Some people is like that. But anyway, we get back on, headed to work. Hey, I've been on here 20 minutes. This video gonna never upload. Hey, this would be some good monetization right here. Yeah, I'm in it for the money. Yeah, I'm in it for the money. I'm making videos. I'm in it for the money. That's it. I'm in it for greenbacks and dollar bills. That's it. I'm in it for the money. I got a YouTube check coming by Thursday. Yes, sir. I'm in it for the money. That's it. Only reason I'm in it is for the money.